Hello lads and lasses, I am Keelan the Realist Reviewer, and today we're taking a look at the male character creation in Tera. Don't worry, we will be covering the females as well. And without further ado, let's start off with a new character. Now the settings are 1080p and the graphics are on ultra, so this is as good as you're going to get in the game, guys. And first of all, of course, we're going to start with the guys, and we start with each race, okay? Now after the humans, I will be going faster through the other races. It's not that I'm human-centric or anything, it's just that a lot of things are the same. I will be covering what's different, however, okay? So don't worry about that. I will cover everything. If there's a race you don't like, feel free to fast forward in the video and stuff. That's quite alright. And we're going to go with the warrior because there's not a lot of difference between the classes. The only difference is obviously the gear that they're going to be wearing, but you know, you'll see those in the game. I will be doing a first impressions video, which I'll show you some of the different classes and stuff and the gear. So we're mainly concerned with the character creation in this video. Okay, so here's different presets for the human. As you can see, you've got lots of different views which I much approve of. It was like, I always thought Star Wars was lacking with different kind of zoom in, zoom out features so you can see your character. Although Star Wars didn't have a lot to show you, but I digress. Anyway, let's zoom into the face. As you can see, you have quite a variation with the humans, and that's always good to see. They do favor the short hair, which isn't really in keeping with the fantasy genre. They've kind of let real life integrate into the game quite a lot with a lot of short hair, because of course men these days really abhor long hair. It seems they really don't like it, so they've kind of tried to cater to that, which is a shame because fantasy's always been traditionally long hair. But there you go. And there's a few different you know, kind of minor defects, which is the bleeding of the hair through the collar, and you will find bleeding of the hair through headdresses and the like. They don't seem to be able to get that quite right, but you know, it's nitpicking, I suppose. I'm going to pick a hairstyle that's not going to intrude too much. That's probably the best to pick. You do have a random feature. You can go through the randoms. I'll show you briefly. Most of the randoms are pretty hideous. As you can see, you know, it speaks for itself. Although you do get the good one now and then, but they're mostly hideous. So not really much of an option if you're in a hurry. If you're in a hurry, the preset's probably your best options. And once you're happy with the preset, you can go into the features, and then you can tweak the features are pretty much the hairstyles. So it takes a moment for the texture to load. I do have quite a fast computer, so you can see the quality there. That's quite nice quality hair textures. Certainly better than what we've seen of late. You know, slightly more detail and slightly higher res. So I'm quite happy with all these different hairstyles. It's nice to see. Nice varied amount of hairstyles and what have you. There's quite a lot to choose from for the humans. There's 18. And you don't get that many with the other races. Some of the other races don't have that many hairstyles. So the humans do get quite favored for the hair, it seems. So we're going to choose that so we can see the face now. And we're going to go for the... oh, actually, no, we should show you the hair first. Because we're still on the hairs. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's show you the different hair tones. They're quite subtle because humans have very subtle hair tones. And it's artificial. And I think they were trying to go I think at one point they were like, let's go for only like natural hair colors, and then they kind of went into the purple, which doesn't really look that purple, and then they went for some of the stranger colors that look slightly unnatural, but most of them are very natural hair colors. So nothing very exciting for that hair colors for the humans. And next, going to the face. Now here's where it gets interesting. You've chosen a preset, yeah, if you go to face, it changes dramatically. The look changes very, very dramatically. I'm not sure why exactly they do that, but they have. As you can see, it's like I guess it's so you can have like an older character or a character who was bruised and battered or whatever, and you can choose like the different kind of what this person may have gone through, but they do change so dramatically that sometimes it doesn't even look like the same guy. But I guess that's a testament to how much you can change your character. Here's the different skin tones. Should go through them all. I would like to have seen a white skin tone, like a really light skin tone, and with the same vein, I would have liked to seen a really dark ebony, almost black skin tone. That's about as close as you're gonna get, but even that's not really hugely dark, is it? And it's interesting when you change the skin, it changes the tint of the eyes as well. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's like, why? Why is that changed the eyes? But anyway. Next is the adornments. Now the humans only have 2, pretty much. And it also changes your eye color. Look at that, a change. That's another thing I should mention, by the way. Some things are linked. Like hair's usually different, but when you're going to face and adornments, the eye color can change, and they are sometimes linked together. And if you like, what's a shame about that is if you like one feature, you're stuck with another. And I really believe that they should have separated those out. That would have been a nice feature to have, because it's kind of a relic of the old MMOs where we have eye color, eyebrows, hairs and stuff all linked in with each other. They really need to be separate, and it's a shame that they haven't really done that in this game. There are too many features that are linked together. Now, next into the fine details, which you can kind of fine tweak your character. And first up, we got the brow. You can't see very well from that angle. I'll change it there for you. You can kind of have a big protruding brow or not. You can have kind of wide cheeks and narrow cheeks, depending on what you fancy. You can have a huge jaw, this mega chin going on there. Look at that. Or you can have a very small boyish chin if you so fancy. I do like that you can kind of create all age ranges using these options. It's pretty cool, and all body types. The only shame is that the size of your character you can't change your size, can't change your body type. Those are missing from this game. Those could add a lot to this game. So some really vast steps in the right direction, some not so. They just didn't go there, which is fair enough. The eye width, of course, you can have big eyes, big sultry eyes, or you can have freakishly small eyes. This is the same for all of the races. There are a lot of stuff that are indicative of all the races, so you will forgive me if I speed up after this race. But yeah, it's either nice big sultry eyes, normal eyes, or freakishly small eyes. They can't seem to do good small eyes for some reason. You got big kawaii anime eyes, but they don't look quite right, as opposed to some other races. It looks really well done. You can have big anime eyes and it looks right on them, so I guess it's just depending on the race. Kind of wonky eyes. I never understood this really. I mean, you know, it looks wrong, it looks wrong, it looks right. And then you've got inner brow and outer brow, which is a nice feature, so you can have them, oh, I'm looking surprised, but with a slight, I don't know, inflection, I don't know. It looks better with other races, actually. Well, it looks different. I don't know if it looks better, but it definitely looks different on the elves, and we'll see that in a minute. And that's pretty much the eyes for you. The nose, you can make a long droopy nose, short or long, and you can have up or down. I would have liked to seen a bit more variation with that. But it's just standard stuff. This has been with us in the RPGs for a while, and thankfully it's finally coming into the MMOs so that we get more options with the slidey bars, so I am happy with this. This does raise the bar for most MMOs. I mean, this is so beautiful that it really raises the bar. A lot of MMOs are playing catch up, and they especially with the character creation, this pretty much flattens a large majority of them. And you can have a bendy nose if you wanted. That's pretty cool. Let's have a look at the mouth. Position up or down. As always, it's like... That is weird. That's the widest of any race you can get. And that is freakishly wide, isn't it? Look, you can do the Joker. You know, and happy smiley. Yeah, it's really cool what you can do with your humans. You get a tiny little mouth as well. That's the greatest variation of all the races. The other races you get constrained, you can't do that. Which is a shame, but I guess they were trying to stop freaky looking elves, I guess. This is the lip thickness. You can get quite thick lips, so you can get even thicker with the ladies though. Get really thick pouty lips. There's the gape. And the pucker. Pucker's just basically, do you want your lips sticking out or not? Pretty much. Mouth corners, smiling or unhappy. What's your preference? Or indifferent? You can choose either why you want to walk around with a smile on your face. I guess that would depend on your character type. Ears. Now the hair's kind of covering the ears up, isn't it? So we're going to change to this. So you can see a lot clearer. The ears, you can have a lot of variants. Not so much for the humans as other races, but you can definitely have the kind of Dumbo ears if you want. Or you can have them bending down if you want. There you go. That's the ears you want. So, quite nice features. Would have been nice to have kind of like raggedy ears, or like, you know, like they've been scarred or bitten or something. That would have been cool, but, you know, again. And that's pretty much it for the humans, guys. Let's have a look at the outfits real quick. The armors are the same for each class. They look slightly different when they're on different races, but not hugely. So I'm going to go through the armors of every class through the humans, and you get to see what they look like. That's the best way to do it. I can't do it for every race because that would take forever. Let's have a look at the voice. Yeah. So pretty much they've gone for 5 different voices, right? And you only get 4 with some races, right? And you don't have a race specific voice, which is a shame because some of these don't work with the races, at least for me. Let me know in the comments below if you disagree or you agree or you're quite happy with it. I like that there's so many. You know, I like that there's a lot of voices. I just think that race-specific voices are more realistic. Because you wouldn't get an elf sounding so uneducated, and you wouldn't get a Popori sounding... This is the only voice you would really think was Popori. So... yeah, the Popori and the other races, you know, these voices don't work so well with them, but that's just my own personal opinion. Anyway, so let's have a look at the, I like the way it always warns you before you go out, so that you don't make a mistake and lose your settings. That's pretty cool. It always warns you before you go out, and that's cool. Here's the Lancers. I'm going to take a very, very brief look at the armors. There's the different armors. As you can imagine, Lancers looking very cool in their plate gear. Very handsome. I'll probably do a first impressions video as well, guys, so you will get to see these in a bit more detail in-game, so stay tuned for that. Hit the old subscribe button if you want to watch more, and you want to see the first impressions video about this game. And the outfit for these, some of the outfits are doubled up. You're like, I've seen this before. You have. They're exactly the same as the warrior, so they're not all the same. They've lumped groups in together. Like this one's full plate. Now the sorcerer, the priest, and the mystic, they all have the same as well, which is interesting. I wonder if it's going to be like that in game, that they all share the same kind of armors. I would presume so. So these are the kind of robes. So basically you've got leather armor, you've got robes, and you've got full plate. That's the difference. And you've seen all 3 now. That's all 3. They look pretty cool. I'm quite happy with the armors and stuff. But I do wonder about the variance of the appearance of the armor. Is it going to be varied? We shall see. We shall see. But anyway, I digress. We should go through the other races. You got the Castanic next, which is a kind of elvish race. And it's not that I like humans above any other race, it's just that a lot of the features are exactly the same. So excuse me if I go quickly through these now, because I want to show you guys everything as fast as possible, because I know you guys are busy. So anyway, here's the different presets that are available. As you can see, each preset changes the horns as well, or headdress. I'm not sure which is that. I think they're horns. You can take a quick look through the presets, so you can get an idea of the kind of variation you can have. You'll notice several things like the nose, there's not much variation. The mouth, there's not that very much variation. It's still very advanced for an MMO, but the variation isn't huge. And of course, random as usual creates absolute freaks. But you'll notice with the elves, it's not too bad compared to other races. So you get some real freaks with the other races, but you can actually get a lot of lulls just going through these and seeing what you get. It's like, oh my goodness. We're going to stick with this guy for now, although it will change. Next up is the features. Now, hairs are locked in with the headdress or horns. I'm not sure what it is, but hairs locked in with the horns, which I think could have done with keeping those separated. I don't know why they chose to link the hair with the horns, because you're gonna like a hairstyle, but you're not gonna like the horns, I'm sure. And it would have been nice if I could have had the different horns, but you can't do that. They are locked forever together, I'm afraid. And they're pretty cool. I do like this style. That's pretty good style. Let's get the long hair on. I'll show you briefly the hair colors. Pretty much the same hair colors. That's why I'm not going into them. They are very vibrant for the elves, just like I suppose these. I'll show you the more vibrant ones, because those are unique. Well, they're not really unique. You get them over several races, but the more vibrant colors are unique to the elvish races. And one other race, which we will cover on the female character creation video. So quite pasteline colors, aren't they? And quite vibrant colors for the elves. Look pretty cool. Anyway, into the face. There's all the different variants of this preset. As always, you can have like quite widening variants, with this one being kind of like one of the normals. See, that's one with the goatee beard, and 12 being kind of unaltered practically. You know, a lot of really cool variants there. That's nice. Skin tones are very much the same, as just more olive colors. Really, more olive colors, slightly more darker shades as well. 4 orange shades, which is cool. Not a lot of variants for the humans, really. Adornments. That's pretty much eye makeup. I'm going to change the hairstyles so we can see more of the face. There we go. And adornments. See different kind of tattoos and stash. It's a rather interesting stash. I don't think you can change the color of the stash, which is a bit weird. Again, I would have liked to seen some mustaches and everything separated and stuff. And that they don't do so well as other MMOs. You know, it'd be nice to have different stashes and stuff, and beards and stuff. But no. Makeup, beards and stuff. You can either have one or the other. Let's go into the fine details. There's not a lot of variance in the fine details. The main variance compared to like humans per se is you'll notice that the brow, when you move it, it doesn't move it out so much as the humans. And also the same with cheekbones. I know it's just me, maybe I'm just imagining it. The jaw certainly moves as much as the humans, but certain features don't have as much kind of variation as the humans do. I guess that's, yeah, again, scary eyes. Yeah, the large eyes don't work so well as it does on the humans. And the angle, all the good stuff, you've seen it before. So, it's mostly like things like the nose, Actually, it looks quite similar to the human. It's probably mostly the mouth, I think. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be. Well, I think it's about as wide as the humans. Actually, now I think about it, it's not too much differences. So it's less differences than I thought, actually, guys. So you can have a really thick mouth, or you can have a really thin mouth, like that, with a big gape. Yeah. Mouth wide open or closed or normal. That's pretty interesting. I don't know why you'd want to walk around with your mouth open, but you can. A bit of pucker there. Get the mouth thickness going and a pucker. Especially, do you want your lips normal or sticking out or strangely back? Mouth corners. Speaks for itself, really. Look at that. Freaky. Well, not freaky. As always, if you got the sliders in the middle, you get kind of normal look. And lastly, the ears, which rotation. I feel with the elvish ears, you can't get them looking as freaky as you can with other races, but that's probably because elvish ears are a certain size. That's as big as you can get. That's quite big, actually. So you can get quite Dumbo ears going on if you wanted to, or, you know, whatever you fancy. There's a good variation there. Well, that's the elves, pretty much the first elvish race, I should say. And a brief look at the gear. As you can see, it's quite revealing, isn't it, on this race? Quite revealing, the gear. I won't go through all the different classes because we don't have time, sadly. But yeah, that's that race done. Okay, the next is the Aman. Now, the Aman look quite distinct, but their female counterparts not more so, but we'll go into that in the other video. Anyway, let's choose a warrior. Let's have a look. Here's the different presets. Let's zoom into the face for these. I'll just let you have a quick look at the bod. That's pretty much what the bod looks like. And there's the head. Quite a lot of variation with the males. I'm quite happy with that. A lot of different variations for the male faces. And they really vary quite a lot, and the horns vary quite a lot, and you can kind of have more of the face showing, or more of the kind of, I guess these are masks, partial masks or something, or facial adornments of some kind. The randoms don't really look that freaky. You can probably, you know, if you want to start quick, random's probably the way to go. I'm quite impressed with the random feature. We're going to go with this one because it shows most of the face. There's no real facial adornments that much on it. Let's go through the different... They don't have hairstyles, of course. They have different types of horns or headdress. I think they're horns. That's a nice rhino horn. Some of these I'll have to zoom out for so you can get a good look at them. Kind of rhino horns going on. That's pretty cool. I do like those. They look pretty badass. And it's good that they have a nice variance. So they got 12 different types. That's not bad. Let's have a look at the different facial types of this preset. Yeah, they don't alter massively, but they do change enough. They do change enough. Cool, look at that. That's scary. That's pretty good. That's almost like Deathwing going on there. Alright, let's have a look at this skin tones. Skin tones are not bad. Quite subtle. Quite a large variance. You can almost be pink. Not quite though. Lots of skin tones. Very nice. I like the dark. That looks very cool. That's all of those. And quite pale as well. That's good. Let's have a look at these adornments. See what you get for adornments. Ah, it seems to be like facial makeup. Different types of facial. Look Looks like a reject from a Kiss concert or something, doesn't he? Ooh, very nice. So some cool patterns there. And you can choose to have some kind of death chin going on or not death chin. That's your adornment for your chin. That's pretty cool. Let's have a look at the fine details. I'm interested to see how that varies. Ah, right. So that's the brow. You can either have like and cheekbones. So you can have quite a flared face. Interesting, when you make the jaw bigger, it makes your mouth open. Interesting. I wonder why they did that, because that... Don't know if I'd like my character going around like that, but... Yeah, not bad. Jaw jut. Again, when you do the jaw jut, it opens and closes the mouth, or appears to from the front. That's a bit different. Basically here I'm looking for any differences to the other races, because mainly everything else I've shown you before. Eyes look okay. You can have eyes closed, open, or sleepy, awake. Always good to have. Separation, not separated, angle, usual stuff. You've seen all this. Nothing new there. The nose, of course, with it being quite flat. Yeah, it kind of comes out, and you can have it quite thick. These guys remind me of the Krogan, kind of, a little bit. Definitely a favored for the tank, perhaps. Mouth. Oh, yep, you can move that about. Not a huge variance. I mean, things like the lip thickness, as you might expect, doesn't seem to change the lip thickness. It just makes the mouth open or closed. And you can have the gape as well. I wonder what happens if you put lip thickness to max and gape to minimum. Don't notice a lot. Mouth corners. Happy, smiling. That's quite a big smile, isn't it? Oh, miserable. Pill-faced. Yeah. Yeah. Let's have a look at the outfits briefly. Quite skimpy. Lovely. Alright. That's all for this race. And next up we're taking out the Popori. Now the Popori are very, very varied. So they're a male only race, by the way. So you can't actually play a female Popori. And you can only play a male Popori. And we're going to pick the warrior, of course. I would love to show you everything, but I won't be able to show you everything, guys. Look at how many different races are within the race. Now, what I mean by that is you've got pandas, you've got guinea pigs, you've got kitty cats, you've got bunnies, you've got hyenas, you've got puppies, you know, more puppies, you've got an otter, I don't know what you would call that, but a guinea pig, another kitty, raccoon. No, that's more like a stoat or a ferret or something. Puppy again. So you can see they have a lot of variety of races within the race. So it's quite varied. We're going to go with the panda. It's kind of sad panda. And you can choose your tail. So we'll zoom out for this. We'll go through the tails. I don't think you can choose the tail color though. Maybe you can with the hair color, we'll see. So lots of different tails. One to suit everybody, hopefully. Even a lion tail, nice. Lots of different tails. I'm going through them quite quickly, guys, but just hit pause if you want to have a longer look at something. And again, what's interesting is when you go to the faces, it changes the face quite dramatically. And it's like, where's my panda gone? There he is. Now, skin tones, or rather fur tones in this case, are quite subtle. Quite subtle again. No real strong... As you might expect, you wouldn't want a pink Popori. Maybe you would, but you can't have one. They're quite subtle shades. Pretty good. Adornments. Now this is funny. You can have like a moon on the back of your head. You can have a panda on the back of your head. You can have kiss makeup. You can have like the tear going on, so you can have quite funny adornments. And you can even have a funny little hat, which looks ever so cute. Now the fine details, obviously they are quite similar between all of the different types of Popori. I guess I'm going to call them types. Everything's pretty much the same. There's not a lot of variance because they got a very round face, you see. And with any character with a round face, there's only so much you can do. You can have big eyes, cute eyes, or you can have shut eyes, and you can have like weird freaky eyes. So, you know, there's not a lot to cover here. It's pretty, you know, nose up or down, size, not a lot of variance there. You know, they don't differ a hell of a lot between the different types. Now, I was gonna check actually with the face, whether the tail color changes. It does change. Okay, that's good. The tail color does change with the hair color. So I just realized I'd overlooked that. So it does change, so all your fur changes to the same color. Okay, that's good. And yeah, so very cute race. You can do lots of cool stuff with the ears, move them around. The outfits look very cool. They're basically smaller scaled down versions of the larger ones. The only voice that goes well with them is probably this one. The rest, not so sure about. That's just a little bugbear of mine. So yeah, that's the Popori. As you can see, there's a lot of variation there, but it's mostly with the different types of Popori. And of course, Ellen is female only, so we'll be covering them on the female video. And next up is the Baraka. There's actually 2 male-only races, so the guys get preferential treatment, it seems, because we get 2 male-only races. Here's different presets. Again, this is one of the races that I kind of feel got a little less attention, because there's not so much variation. I suppose it's difficult with a golem. He looks like a golem. He looks like a dwarvish golem to me. So there's only so much you can do, I suppose. But I feel this is one of the races that didn't get as much attention. You've got 20 presets, which is not bad. That's really cool, isn't it? Badass. You can't see the face. So I'm gonna choose one where you can actually see the face somewhat. I look quite dwarfish in that one. You don't get any features. Can't change the features. But you can change your face. Lots of different types of faces going on. And here's the different shades. Quite a good range to choose from. And no real black. I would have liked to see a darker shade of black, would have been cool. Or even white. Can you imagine like really white shade? Like marble. Kind of marble effect would have been cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the face. This is going to be very quick, guys, because there's not a lot to show. There's not a lot to show. Look how the adornments, different types, fine details. Look, brow, can't see it. A lot of stuff covers up things like there. See if we can get rid of. No, I don't. I think that's indicative of the facial type, so we can't see our brows with that face type, but we can see the cheeks and the beard. Us changing our beard. And the jaw's kind of linked in with the beard, so it would have been nice if we could change what style of beard we had, but you can't do that. The eyes, not much variance. Shape again. Still much more advanced than a lot of MMOs out right now, and a big step in the right direction. I don't know if I want to show you anything more. The nose, there's not a lot moving. This moves quite a lot, I suppose, but not a huge variance. This is an example of how they've limited how much you can do as opposed to other races. But I guess they felt it wasn't proportionate to make it like really tiny nose and stuff like that, so I can respect that. And he can set wider position. Usual stuff. Smiling or unhappy. And outfits, let's see how they look in the wares. Not bad, not bad. So as you can see, the armors are just rescaled. Hopefully they have more variants in the game. And that's pretty much that race. There wasn't much to them, was there? Not much to them. Compared to the other races that take a bit longer because they've got more features. And lastly, the high elf dudes looking fabulous. Yes. As you can imagine, the high elves are one of the prettiest races. And so let's just give them a twirl there. And zoom into the face. But what's pretty cool about the high elves is you can have like ugly high elves, or you can have like freaky looking ones if you do so desire. You don't have to be, but all the presets, as you can imagine, are very, very pretty. Some quite stern, masterful looking high elves, and some pretty ones too. Naturally, the elves and will be the most popular race, I imagine, because they're tall. And you can't alter your size or dimensions, size dimensions. So people will be picking the highest race. They always seem to do that. I don't know why. They always do. But yeah, so that's pretty much him. And here's the random. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Quite often they're like, no. So we're going to go with this chappy here, okay? We're going to have a quick look at the features, all the different hairstyles mainly. Lovely hairstyles. You'll note there's only 12, and you get more with other races. And also I think the females get more, I'm not sure. We'll have to check on that. So I'm going to show you the different hair colors. They're pretty much the same. Going through them quickly because we've seen pretty much all these colors. Look at that. Looks badass. Very nice. I'm going to reset it to a short style so we can see the face a bit. A lot of these styles are in the face. There we go. There's your hairstyle. Different faces. So many to choose from, really. Adornments. Now, adornments seem to be eye color changes, eyebrows change, even lip color changes all together. And my feelings on that, as always, they should be separate. They should always be separated. You should never have eye color, eyebrows, and lips and everything all together. That's a relic from the past. Kind of something that should be dead and buried by now, but it's still with us, still hanging on. Now the brow's fun, because as always, when you extend the brow, the hair gets absorbed into the face, which is always funny. Cheekbones, usual stuff, same as the humans pretty much, same as the other elvish race as shown before. So nothing really new here to show you guys. Sorry, I'm not going to go into this in any great detail, because it's exactly the same as the elvish race. They even look exactly the same, just with different skin and stuff. They look very, very, very similar. We're kind of running out of time. I don't notice any huge differences either. You know, you can still have the huge lips, small lips. You can have. The other thing I noticed about the high elves is, look, that lip thickness doesn't seem to be as big as the other elvish race or the humans. I don't know if it's... let me know in the comments if you agree or whether you think it's just the same. I think it does look different. You could have the kind of gape there. The gape actually looks more natural with the elves. It's kind of like they just look happy or something. And the pucker, of course, protruding. That just looks cute. And yeah, the mouth corner's happy or sad. They can either look very sad or slightly happy. There's no kind of freakish smile there. And let's have a quick look at how they look in their outfit. Very regal. Look at that, very regal, very manly. Fabulous, yes. So I anticipate this race will be played the most. It's a toss-up really between the Castanic, the High Elf, and the humans. Maybe the Aman, maybe not. But yeah, so that's the male character creation in this game, guys, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think about the game and what you think about the character creation in the game. It's, as you might, I'm sure most of you will agree, it's quite impressive. And it's definitely a big step in the right direction, although there's still a few things that they could have improved on, like adding a size option and dimensions option, how much muscles you have, stuff like that. That would have been cool, but they haven't gone for that, so that's what we've got. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll see you next time.